Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to do the transmission drain and refill service on a 2016 Toyota Prius. Very simple process, nothing too crazy. The car is going to need to be leveled. I will show you the little jacking up spots and make sure literally that your car needs to be leveled perfectly, +1 or -1 degree that is stated. So jacking up points. If I was you, I would jack it up from where those bolts are at. There's nothing up in the front where we can jack it up from. So jack it up from these bolts right here coming on the passenger side. This is where our subframe bolt, this will be actually the best spot, but if your jack can't reach under there, not there. But I wouldn't say to actually jack it up at the pinch welds. Those aren't the proper way. These guys are literally bent for the actual lifts. So if you can actually get up on here, that'll be perfect. If you need to drive on some blocks, some 2x4s, you can drive up on top of them so you can get your jack up under here. If not, if you have a ramp, that would work out pretty well too as well. And then also coming on the other side, same thing, you would jack it right up there. And then for your jack stands, you would put your jack stands at your pinch welds, so that'll work out perfect. Now coming up to the rear, where you would lift it right here. So you'd come from the back and then you would lift it from up here. Now it is gonna kind of tilt a little bit to the right. And obviously that'll be kind of given, but you would need to balance it out. Now, if you want to balance it out, you can lift it up from the control arm, or the spring arm, whatever you want to, coil spring, lower arm, whatever, and then lift it up so you can kind of adjust it and make sure it's perfectly leveled. All right, so next step, if you haven't already, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And share the video to help other Prius owners save money on these type of repairs and so forth. And we're going to go ahead and start this video right after the intro. All right, so first things first, what we need to go ahead and do is we need to take off our splash shield. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 10-millimeter bolts. And then after that, we have a little clip. So we got one right here. These little clips, you can get a flathead screwdriver and then kind of wedge in right there. And then you'll kind of walk yourself. You can actually spin these guys. So if you need to get the appropriate way, so forth, and these guys will come out just like that. So if you can get a little flathead on the actual edges themselves, that'll be perfect. All right, so that's just for one. I'm only gonna show you just on one, and then obviously the 10mm is obviously a given, but I'm just gonna list out the ones that we need to take off. So that was the one clip that we just took off, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 10 clips that we got to take off, and 4 10-millimeter bolts that we got to take off. So I'm going to go ahead and get those taken off. I will do a fast forward video on taking those off. All right, so after we're done taking off those clips, we're gonna grab this splash shield and then pull it towards the rear, and just like that. Now, a couple did break when removing those. All right, so now here we have our engine, and then right over here we do have our transmission. Everything looks all nice and clean. We don't see any oil leaks, so we're looking good on that. All right, so we're gonna locate our drain plug. Our drain plug is gonna be right here. It is gonna be a 10-millimeter Allen. Now an Allen is gonna be like a hex. This one is a ball pin style, so it's more like a swivel. So I can put it at different angles, so it kind of gives me a little play. But typically you wanna kind of get the little short edge. So what I like to do is I like to get a little container just to see how much I drain out. A drain and fill complete, or a drain and fill would be 3.8 US quarts. So let's go ahead and get that going. I do have the container right under, and you do need to replace these washers right after you do use them. All right, so I went ahead and switched up to the square one. So as you can see right here, I just didn't want to, I felt it kind of like wobble a little bit too much, so I don't want nothing bad happening. So, and it's lefty loosey. All right, so we broke that free. I'm gonna get my container and then just make sure now this fluid's really clean. Surprisingly, with 136,000 miles on this, but we're still doing the service. Now it's gonna probably start like slurping right up. Sometimes when I notice when you do drain and fill these guys is that you can hear like a vacuum. So which is normal if you hear the vacuum. And then we'll just let that guy drain right out. So in the meantime, as that's draining, we'll go ahead and get back to the video. All right, so we are all said, done and draining. Just left it overnight, got pretty tired, it's late at night. So we are at 3.5 quarts. Again, this is a 3.8 fill. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and put back on our drain plug, and then we are gonna torque that to 37 foot-pounds. And then right here, coming over here, we are gonna go ahead and take off this. This is our fill plug. And then this is the same size as the drain plug. So it's a 10mm hex. So anytime when you take off these little washers and stuff, you need to replace the gasket. If you wanted to try reusing it, I mean, that's a gamble you're gonna have to take. It might leak, it might not. These are a one-time use crush washer, but I know with these transmissions you can actually, I've done it where I can reuse it. Just pay attention, just have the car idle with the fluid inside and just kind of pay attention so it doesn't leak right out. And if it starts leaking, what you can do is you can take off the plug and put your thumb just to plug it real quick so you don't lose all your fluid. You'll just probably lose a little bit. All right, so the next one is gonna be, we're gonna go ahead and take off this one again. All right, so you can actually go get the actual fluid from Toyota themselves, or you can go to the auto parts store and get the actual Valvoline Max Life right here. It's the Dextron V6, or I mean the 6, or the Mercron LV. Can't get that guy to focus for some odd reason. So right here, so it's gonna show Dextron 6 or Mercron LV. Part number, don't see one on here. But right here on the back, what you can see is that for Toyota or Lexus, right here, it's for type 1, 2, 4, and then WS, and that's what we need for this actual transmission. Now this is 4 quarts, so it's pretty affordable. It's about like $33, $35, right around there. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this up. Now what they do say is if you fill it up too fast, it'll start pouring right out, and then from there it'll give you a misreading. So once it starts pouring it out, just wait, have a container under, and so forth on that. Right here, you can actually use these little Mighty Vac tools. I think Harbor Freight sells them, but I know for sure AutoZone does sell these. I don't remember the exact price. I have like 2 of these, but they don't come with the black hose. They actually come with the clear hose. But I have the Mighty Vac. Mighty Vac does carry these. Perfect. I'm going to be using the bigger one. Now, this one is MVA 6852. This one I got from Amazon. I think it was like $50. I think it's so worth it if you're going to be doing transmissions or gear oil. So this is what I'm going to use to actually siphon it up. It's about 1.5 quarts for each suck and pull. or suck and push. So on that, so we're gonna go ahead and set up everything, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill it back up. All right, so with this one, we can just put right inside, and then we'll just go ahead and pump it right in there. Now we're just gonna pump it slow. I'm not gonna sit there and force it in. And then make sure you have a container under. All right, so this guy should start about overfilling right about now. And then just still, like, as it's getting closer to about almost closer to the 3.8, I'm just slowly putting it in. Because obviously if we fill it up too fast, so right about there, you can see once it starts shooting out just like that, when it starts leaking out on its own, then we know it's filled. So as it's draining out like that, what I'm gonna go ahead and do, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up, or I'm gonna put the bolt on. And again, make sure you replace that washer too. And then this one is gonna be 37 foot-pounds too as well. All right, so now we got that on. Go ahead and clean up your area, and then I'm not gonna show how to put on the splash shield, so that will be pretty much it for that. And then you would kind of start it, drive it around, and then you should be golden. You don't have to repeat it. These guys really are a like one-time service thing, but this is his first time servicing this in 139,000 miles. But yeah, if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future, and thanks for watching.